Welcome everybody. Today my topic geographical research. The main topic research methodology and the unit geographical research. Field of geographical research and the techniques. At first I'm been giving you the very clean concept about the topic that is most important here. The topic in the previous class I also discussed about several excellency of their experimental activities of research, maybe inductive, deductive, and several research techniques are being discussed. Today, I'm just discuss the basic category, the components of fields of research used in geography and facts of view. In sense of basic identity, I'm been giving you a very clean idea about matter that in my topic in fields of research you will get some several points in your methodology books, and here also discuss several identities whatever is mentioned in the development for the research, but the fact is that you have to identify the proper identities with their summaries and analysis their reports. In facts or views in our research papers, when I am going to or we are going to discuss some things about some problem in a particular spatial area or some sections, then we will must taking some introductory words will must help some several words and sentences that will giving you the complete idea about the basic sections of methodological adjustment. In here, after all, in the sections of methodology, we'll get several kinds of topic and methodological observation, but in fact of view, all of the topic has been really modified by the several science and their scientific logic with their cause-effect relationship. Here, in the sections of these views, when you will going to answer such questions that you will get several points as a geographical research and their components with their category, their catalogs. At first, the point introduction. The introduction is a topic that you have to mention here several identities or the facts and some basic phenomena of your project, that where is your location of your project, which is the real theme of the project, and after all, if there is some problem, of course some problem has been designed there, and the facts of view that you have to mention there, what's the particular problems, what is the basic category of problems. You will just make a very short and brief notes in introduction parts, and also giving you your, if you have map of such areas, they will give you some map there with the direction, that you also mention the proper ideas with their address, their where your locations and why you will done such kinds of project, what is the real benefits of your project, and why will take a complete energy and will take a complete giving interest of your project. You will just mention there in your introductory parts, and if there was a map, also you mention their map with their locations. After that, you have to find out the objective of the project. Objective is a matter that here you will mention several points one by one. What is the basic theme of your objective in your project? You will just mention several kinds, several expectations by their categorical adjustment. If there is some objective views, you'll just mention their objective. If suppose you will taking some topic as a waterlogging problems, maybe agricultural crisis, or different kinds of topic you will take, and if you take some project of a topic like the case study on river basin, river bank erosion in your area, then what is the basic objective? One by you will specify the what is the real causes of river bank erosions, and what is the relationship between local people and river bank erosion, and what is the basic measurement of river bank erosion. You will just mention several kinds of authentic objective to modify such a project as a point objective. Then you have to write your points. The third point is literature review. Literature review is a very important word there. You will just mention several kinds of observations with literature review expectations and facts of view in literature review. After all, you have to prompt to modify such of works in the previous author who have done such of words. What is their result? What is their findings? What is their analysis? You also mention such of words one by one. You have to mention more about 10 literature review. Minimum 10 literature review I have to mention in your project report. Maximum 15. Then In facts of view, literature review provides you a basic knowledge and concept that your topic, what is your topic and why, which type of development you have informed by taking several kinds of hypothetical measurements, some observation measurement that we give in the proper identities by help of literature review. Remember that it only are views that give you the ideas of your work, how it will be done, and in which method will the appropriate method, and after all, what should be the result in facts of several research and categorical adjustment, whatever you've done here with a complete way. In facts of view, the next point you will analyze is their hypothesis. I mean, hypothesis, you have taken several 5 or 6, maybe 3 hypotheses, maybe 5 hypotheses that you will mention such of activities, and then you have to benefits. You have to give in your total benefits by your project, and findings report should be modified similar to the hypothesis content which you have been taken in your sections of starting in a hypothesis way. Is that clear? And facts of view, that well, you have to mention some hypothetical observations that it should be a two-trial test, is a one-trial test, maybe it's a null hypothesis, is the similarity between riverbank erosions and local agricultural activities is a very connective components and incident in this area. In such of views that you will mention 3 or 4 hypotheses, and after that when you will go to the findings point, then you have to measure, you have to justify your all hypotheses one by one, and then you have to give in the result with the test. Maybe several kinds of hypothetical measurement test you have to use. You may use their t-test, j-test, chi-test, and such a hypothetical test, and you have to specify the observation what you will take here as assumptions. After that, you have to make a points about database and methodology. I mean, database and methodology, there you have to mention here your method of your survey, that may be a primary section, that may be a collection of data actually. I mean, database, you have to mention here your database sources, maybe primary sources, maybe secondary sources. If you have a questionnaire, then that should be a primary survey that you will mention here as a questionnaire survey as a primary data. If you are using several draft development books or several books or reference books, remember that here you will just modify, you will just make a complete knowledge, a very clear knowledge here, that in bibliography and reference, what is the basic difference between bibliography and reference. Here in facts of view, with a very clean statement that bibliography give you the complete record of books, but reference give you the several sources where you get some help to develop your project as informational services. In reference service, you will get a lots of sources, maybe newspaper, maybe journal, periodical, article, manuscript, thesis, dissertation copies, patent, each and everything. If some void words, meta documents, maybe formal documents, maybe conventional documents, non-conventional documents, micro documents, microchip, maybe used here some several CDs, pen drive, each and every device, each and every component is being considered as a reference. But here, I mean, just give you the bibliography is completely a record of books. You have to take a complete consciousness about such of works. In section of when you are going to record, you are going to write down your database and methodology. And then should be a methodology of the specified there, which type of methodology have been modified here, that as the primary observation, secondary observation. If you here use several kinds of statistical observations, you mention here some scientific observational strategies, that may be a software application, maybe ARC info software for digitized radius, maybe map info software, maybe QGIS for the statistical developments, and maybe some statistical technique like mean center shifting, maybe standard distance measurement, maybe hypothesis, several kinds of t-test, j-test maybe. And if you have to give a result of prominency of the justification with coefficient of variation, they will also measured here as a statistical unit as the measurement of dispersion, or several kinds of regression analysis, nonlinear parabola, maybe. Which type of method, if used here with a statistical technique mentioned here, if a graphics technique mentioned here, if some diagrammatic technique maybe by manual sketch, then you will mention here. Such what we needed so far. That you mention your database and methodology, and after that, you will mention your next point, and that is the very essential points, analysis of report. Here you also mention everything, your views, whatever you get your analysis by graphical way. Suppose he will give you some statement about the developments of riverbank erosion in 5 years, in previous 4 years, previous 10 years, and then you have to mention to express your views by graphical way. Then you mention several kinds of graph, maybe polygon, maybe moving average, use here to prominence of your reports, maybe. And if you think that in analysis of report in this chapter, you also give you the complete information about your topics and what is the real category of your topics and why you will make a research here. And if there is some research questions, then you will mention here which type of question have been arrived for there, then you will mention here in your analysis of report. After that, the next point here should be, and that point should be overall evaluation. Overall evaluation means what is their statement, what is local people's view, what is primary observational view, what is secondary observational view, what is the real causes of benefits there, what's the cost benefit analysis of such a project here. And if you done properly, if your findings, your result has been modified and mentioned with each and every point by points, and what should be the profit by getting by the local people and local governing body, that will be mentioned here with their views of their identical observations here in overall evaluation. And then findings, the next point, findings. The findings is the most important matters that you will mention your author views. I mean, you are the researcher that in this question here you will explain yourself that what should be the result, and in this findings section you have to justify your hypothetical observational statement. You have to state here and giving the result by taking some observational views. And in facts of here, after all, completing your all and everything of findings, your project has been completed here, and then you will mention here bibliography or reference. I also said in previous time that bibliography means list of books only, but reference means everything: newspaper, daily newspaper, dictionary, maybe handbooks, maybe CD, dissertation copy, patent. Where you will get, I mean, if you get some of the observational secondary data from your local municipality by draft development plan, that will be measured as a secondary data sources, but that is your reference. Then you mention your draft development books and just several municipality where I will get it to collect there. After all that, each and everything you have to mention there. That's why you will mention here bibliography and reference, combined words, okay, combined points. And bibliography should be in APA style. I also discussed in previous class what is APA style, and you will know completely in research methodological subjects that what is the APA style. You will just mention here APA style in our bibliography, but when you written some result here. And after that, methodological observation, when you are getting some actual identity of your report to verify the modify your cognitive views of your report, then reference is the most important sources, that here the complete components of your information give you the complete idea and complete benefits of your project, that where you will get such of observational help, and reference will give you the complete output of your knowledge and your experience that you may share with all over the each and every section of literature review what have been done in our first project sections. And that after that, bibliography or project has been completed. In this way, you will also complete your project in field of geographical research. And now I am giving you a complete blueprint about geographical research with a point-to-point analysis. Now we'll done your project, and if you get any type of help or problems, if you have any query, you will must give me a message. I will must reply you, and I'm thinking that you will maybe satisfy my answer. Thanks a lot.